Gareth Southgate, you have got this one right. The England manager has introduced Kobbie Mainoo to the senior side for these upcoming international games. And here's the inside story. Now, Kobbie Mainoo, just 18 years of age, has got his first England call-up, and you've got to say that it's more than deserved. The United midfielder has been a bright spark for Erik ten Hag's side in a quite dismal season this year. His latest performance against Liverpool had people raving, and it looks like it changed Southgate's decision as well, because Mainoo was originally drafted into the under-21 squad, and Southgate kind of backed his decision last week. He doubled down after leaving Mainoo out of the squad. There were question marks, but he seemed to believe that it was too early. This is what he said. I think that he's doing brilliantly for a young player, and we're never slow to put a young player into seniors. But he's only had a handful of games, and you have to be very careful development-wise in making these decisions at the right time. So we think ideally we should allow him to have that space to develop at his own speed. He's not at a point in terms of number of games that Jude and Bukayo had when they came in for the first time. But I repeat, he's doing really well for a young player. He's a good footballer, you can see that. And he's getting some fabulous experience with Manchester United at the moment. And he looks a really good character. And not even a week later, Southgate has included Mainoo in his senior squad. And I know what you're thinking. There could be an injury, that a lot of the time for under 21 players, that's how they get their chance. There's an injury in the first team squad and they get drafted up. Kobbie Mainoo? No. The England statement from this afternoon when Kobbie got announced that he would be in the squad. The 18-year-old was initially part of the MU21 squad but has been drafted into Gareth Southgate's group. All other 25 players reported to St George's Park on Tuesday ahead of the forthcoming international games. No one's pulled out. Southgate has not kind of pivoted to Mainoo because of an injury trouble. He has realised his mistake. He saw that performance against Liverpool where Mainoo absolutely bossed the midfield against Endo, against McAllister, and he realised that there was a mistake because you can't just throw him in right at the end of the season after he's proved you wrong then. It's a great move by Southgate really because he's realised that he needs to get Mainoo in this group and see what he's about more before this tournament's coming. Speaking on his call-up, Mainoo said, "I got called up to the under-21s and then got a text from Steve Holland, Southgate's assistant. And he told me to come and meet him in reception. He told me that I'd been called up and I'm going to be with the squad. It hasn't sunk in yet, but I'm excited." And it's great to hear that from Mainoo. I know there is some worries that it might be a bit too much football. Hopefully Southgate manages his minutes quite well over the next 2 weeks because he's played a lot of football for a young teenager. And yeah, he needs some time off. I respect that. But also, this is a really big move for him. Massive congratulations to him for making that move. But it's not just about him. This is about England as a whole because we're all United fans, but some of us will also be England fans. And this could be a big solution to England in the summer. You've got Declan Rice, you've got Jude Bellingham, but that third midfielder is always a conversation for England. I hear people say Phil Foden, but then you're taking Jude Bellingham away from his role where he's absolutely excelling at Real Madrid. You need that second midfielder where Bellingham was playing alongside Rice. You move Bellingham forward, you find another midfielder to fill that spot. And Kobbie Mainoo, with the players available, is the best suited player for that role. And Southgate seems like he's starting to learn it. Of course, Mainoo had got interest from Ghana just a couple of months ago, and it seemed like that could be a potential option, but it always seemed that he would get through to the England squad because I don't think anyone since his debut has doubted that he would have got into the England squad eventually. It was just about a matter of time, and it's come quickly. Mainoo had played 6 under-19 games. He captained the side against Japan under-18s back in November, shortly after his United debut. He only played twice for the under-18s and 5 times for the under-17s, according to Transfer Market. It seems like he's growing quickly. He has not touched under-21s football. There's not many players who completely miss out that step of their development on the England stage. Of course, Marcus Rashford, kind of done it. He went back to the under-21s, scored a hat-trick and never went back. But it only seems to be a certain level of talent where, especially in England, they allow that kind of jump. And Mainoo is clearly one of them. Are Manchester United fans going to find out much more about Kobbie Mainoo throughout this international break? Probably not. Are a lot of other fans going to learn more? I think so. I think Mainoo, surprisingly, is rated by a lot of other fan bases, and I think that is an undeniable kind of admission of his quality, that a lot of these fans can't even make jokes and say that he's poor, say that he's not as good as United fans are saying. They know how talented this lad is. And him going into the England squad and playing some minutes, hopefully not too many, but I'm sure he's going to make a good impression. And it could be the start of a really promising midfield for England this summer, which I and a lot of other people can be happy about. Personally, I don't think I've seen a story like this in a very long time, and I can't think of another England player who Gareth Southgate or another manager has essentially said publicly that he will not be part of the squad for certain reasons. And those certain reasons were a lack of experience, essentially. But then for that manager to essentially go back on his word only less than a week later, I just think that is such a great indication of Mainoo's talents and abilities. And this camp will only help him going forwards. You're seeing him alongside the likes of Saka, Bellingham in the camp. He's pictured with Harry Maguire. He's getting to see more faces, and this is going to be a regular occurrence for Mainoo. So I think getting him in that environment ahead of the Euros is good. It's a good move by Southgate, even if he seemed to mess up initially. Mainoo getting in that environment, getting used to his surroundings, will hopefully help him play a big role for England this summer. Let me know what you think of Kobbie Mainoo's Euro 2024 chances in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like, and if you haven't already, we'd really appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe button and look out for any future videos. That's all from me, and we'll see you in the next one.